Holistic connection. Let's heal. Holistic connection. Let's learn. Holistic connection. Let's grow. Holistic connection. Let's be real.
Hello, everyone. This is PamelaTopjian, your host for Holistic Connections, Conversations with Holistic Practitioners. And I will let my guest introduce themselves and share what you do in the holistic healing space, please.
Hello, thank you so much for having me, Pamela.
Yeah.
My name is Charlotte, and I work in the space of women empowerment, specifically in women's empowerment in relationship to men, and how to really step into your full purpose and your full power so you attract and sustain a relationship with a man that's really matching your being.
Mm,
Yeah.
so
And
important.
right? Yes. Yeah.
So, can you explain a little bit about the different offerings that you have and how you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I work a lot with astrology
Hmm.
and as well as my kind of coaching method. So astrology has been a big part of my practice as it's really helpful to kind of lay out the soul blueprint or the codes of the person's soul so that they can check with themselves like, okay, is this really who I am? Is this really where I'm at? And it gives kind of a foundation to move from when you're starting the path of really stepping into your authentic self.
Wow. You're talking about having a good relationship between men and women. Does that really, you'll see like this sign lines up with this sign? Is that really something that's true that you have found or that you know of, or is that just kind of a more of a marketing thing?
I think that there's a way to be compatible with any sign.
Hmm.
And there's definitely patterns of certain signs going along better with others. For example, like fire signs and air signs get along really well because it's the fire is the energy, the spark, and the air is like the idea. So it's like passion,
Mm.
go, excitement, play.
Yeah,
So
the
we
air feeds the
fire,
fire. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then water
Awesome.
and earth also go really well together because the earth is holding the space for the water.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, like in these ways, there's nice things. And then also sometimes earth and fire people get along great because, okay, this person's grounded, this person's more, initiating, and then we create something together and keep it stable. And so
Yeah.
there are different combinations as well as like the polarity. So each sign has a polarity, the opposite sign. And you'll see if you start kind of like looking around, a lot of couples have the one person is Aries, one person is Libra, which is the opposite. So
Mm.
that also polarity of that can be also an attraction point.
I would imagine it's individual too, because obviously, there's so much to the astrological signs once you go deeper than just, I don't know much about astrology at all. So I know it just is so involved and it goes so much deeper than people tend to think right off the bat. So yeah, so
Yeah,
each
yeah.
person would be a little more individual as far as like their charts and that. So you probably could tell more from their deeper charts, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Because the sun sign, the one that most people know, like, okay, you could say I'm an Aries or I'm a Taurus. This is only one element of the chart. There's
mhm.
like 15 other parts of the chart that we can look at that help to understand, okay, where am I compatible with this person in this way, in terms of relationship, in terms of communication, in terms of work, purpose. So, yeah, there's a much bigger picture to it, but
Yeah.
there is definitely things in the charts where if you put two people together, you can see, okay, where they're probably compatible and where there's probably tension.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
interesting. I'm much older than you, obviously, but we all know women who they're like, I've given up, or I have a bad picker, they say, because they just keep getting in these
Mm.
terrible relationships and they feel stuck that they aren't even capable of getting into a more equal and respectful relationship. So, yeah, I think that's so important to learn about that. Like if you're that person who's been stuck in toxic relationships. So, yeah. You say guiding women through initiations that most people avoid. I think that's on your website. So, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So my journey, just to explain kind of how I got to doing
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
is that a lot of the kind of wellness and healing work I was doing was very focused on positivity. So it was a lot of it was avoiding the triggers or avoiding the shadow benefits of some pattern, or avoiding kind of the slimy element of what I was doing, and really kind of endorsing, you're just amazing, and like this kind of positive
Right,
framework.
right.
And so a lot of people, for example, in relationships, like you were saying, that are in toxic relationships, they're blaming the other person for, like, it's his fault.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, there's a reason why you are choosing that, and there's a part of you, which is more of a shadow aspect of you, that is creating this reality. And the thing that most people don't want to look at is the fact that they themselves have created their reality. And so taking responsibility for how you have created your reality is an initiation, because you have to admit that you yourself are the one that agreed to this, that gave up on yourself, that gave away your power, that played the victim, that wanted to get something out of it, that didn't want to really like
Yeah.
have to face your life. So that's kind of the theme, in a way, of the initiation, is actually about facing all of the parts of yourself that you thought, I don't have that, I would never do that, I'm not manipulative, I'm not lying,
Yeah.
and actually meet these parts of yourself. So that's kind of the passage from being, in a way, actually a child energetically and into an adult energetically, where you're saying, okay, I'm creating this situation here.
Yeah. That's important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always deeper.
Yeah, exactly. And we, as women, I know a lot of women are very validated in their experience, and oftentimes therapists will say, oh, well, you're doing great and it's not your fault and you didn't do anything. And unfortunately, that just keeps women in the same patterns, in
Yeah.
the same stuckness. So that's what initiation is. It's actually like really going from, like, having to die some part of yourself that you thought was part of you, or like going into your underworld to really face like what you've created.
Yeah. So how do you get to those spaces with women if they have been, had their head in the sand for so long, or refusing to look at their own part in whatever's going on in their life that they hope to change, rather than blaming that person, did this to me, to get out of that mindset and to finally take accountability for their own actions and their own patterns. So, how do you get to that place? How do you get people to start taking their head out of the
Yeah,
sand
yeah,
or
I love
looking
this
deeper at
question.
themselves?
Yeah. Amazing question. Okay, so there are a couple of core pillars that I first teach to women. So the first thing is, like, what you need before you can get your head out of the sand is you need to have distinctions about the different parts of you that are creating the situation. And the other thing is that you need to understand the different options that you have in life. So for example, there are two games you can play in life. One game is called low drama, which is where you play the victim. You have a rescuer who says, "Oh no, poor you." And you have a persecutor who says, "Oh God, like, just get over it." So most people are living their life bouncing between these three roles: poor me, or saving someone else, or persecuting someone else, or getting persecuted or getting rescued. So you're playing in this triangle, which is like a specific game you can play in life. And when you play low drama, you get certain results in your life, which is that you attract men, or you attract relationships for people that want to save you or people that want to persecute you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So, okay, that's the first thing. So if I were to explain that map to you, you'd be like, oh man, okay, I'm
Yeah.
definitely playing the victim, right? It would awaken something in you saying, okay, wow, I'm doing that. So the whole concept is that I'm delivering these maps. I'm showing you new frameworks to understand your reality, so that I'm not telling you anything. You can say, you can
Yeah.
sense by me sharing this, oh, yeah, I'm definitely playing the victim. So I deliver these maps, which come from this lineage of work called possibility management. And these maps give you a new foundation to understand your inner world, so that you can navigate it better, and you can understand, okay, oh, wow, I'm playing the victim. And that's why my head is in the sand. for
Mm,
example. So then the other option is if you don't want to play low drama, instead you can play high drama, which is about using your feelings to navigate your life and communicate consciously. So actually, people that are feeling like victims, what's really going on is they're feeling sad. And sadness is a portal, it's a doorway to actually connection, to grieving, to
yeah.
closeness, to compassion. And so when you shift yourself out of poor me, help me into I feel really sad, then actually you start to attract different type of people and you start to get yourself out of you pull your head out of the sand and say, okay, you know what, I'm actually just really sad about this. And if I let myself feel this, then I can
Yeah.
actually start to make a different decision in my life. If I don't know that what's really going on is I'm sad,
Yeah.
how can I do anything different? So suddenly with just this, for example, this is just one part of a session where I would explain this. And you, in that session, you would realize, wow, I'm actually just feeling so sad. And instead of really owning that, I'm playing a victim and waiting for someone to fix it for me.
Yeah. So it's kind of being able to recognize exactly the feelings and the emotions that you're going through and then see it from a different framework. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
important to get to a realization like that for people. So you do one-on-one mentorships and you do one-on-one coaching and you do groups and you also have a free workshop. Can you talk about that a little bit about your offerings and yeah, and where people can find you?
Yeah, of course. So my main offering is a 3-month initiation, which what I just explained to you is like one
Yeah.
part of it. So what we would do inside the initiation is we go through all these different aspects of your inner world and give you new possibilities for how to work with it. So the reason you have your head stuck in the sand is because you're just lost in your inner world.
Yeah.
All you can say is, I'm stuck or I'm in pain or something's wrong. But okay, what part of you is experiencing that? How did you get there? And XYZ. So the initiation is like giving you a new foundation to navigate your inner world.
Yeah.
It's like the foundation you need to really stay your path, stay your purpose, like stay on your path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the main offering that I have. And then I have a
Mm-hmm.
workshop, which is called Emotional Sorcery, which is basically
Mm-hmm.
like the first, it's basically the place where I give you the tools for how to navigate your emotional world and your feelings world. Because this is actually one of the most essential things for women, not only in their daily life, but also in relationship. So a lot of problems happen in relationships because women feel things and they don't really know what the purpose is or what to do with it, and men don't know how to hold space for it. And then
Yeah.
you're getting, yeah, right. So this is like the yeah, it's happening all the time. So
Yeah.
this is like the training about like, okay, how to handle your emotional world. And these are all trainings like this is all work that most of us didn't get in school, most of us didn't get in
From our
yoga
parents, from
training
our
or from our
mothers.
parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. So it's kind of like, okay, I missed some things and now I'm
Yeah.
gonna learn them now.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to the woman who knows she needs some change, but she's either scared to start or doesn't know where to start? And she's coming to you and saying, I need some change. I don't know what exactly it is I need to change. I'm not exactly sure where to begin. And this is somebody that, is just coming to you for the first time. You don't know them. What would you say to that woman?
Well, what I would first say is I would actually invite her to share what is happening.
Yeah.
And if I get a solid 30 minutes, I can kind of dissect where is this all beginning? Where is this coming from? And from there, we can create a plan to help you heal what needs to be healed, empower you to gain the skills that you need to live your life now
Yeah.
and to build the kind of, life or relationship you want. So I would say, like, really the first thing is like just reach out, and really just, I think the first thing is like when I, realized in myself was like, hey, actually, I don't know how to do this on my own.
Yeah.
And I need some help because I'm lost and I'm just like emotionally all over the place. My relationship is like this. I'm attached, I'm anxious, like so yeah, the first thing is like, okay, admit like, hey, I'm could really use some help.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can go from there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I imagine there'll be women that listen to this or watch this on YouTube and they're thinking, I could this sounds like something I really need, but I don't know where to begin or I don't know what to do. So yeah, so just reach out to Charlotte and
Yeah.
she will help what changes you need and how to get there. And it might not be all positivity and fun, and it might be a little bit of undigging your your head from the sand and admitting some things and realizing some things that might not be what you originally thought, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And the way that I work is like I create an individualized plan for you. So wherever you're at, we start there and we move through the process. And
Yeah.
it's it will meet you where you are is what I can say about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I love what you said. It's meeting the parts that you don't like right now, you don't even know that you don't know.
Exactly, exactly. And I've been there, and so I can
Mhm.
completely relate with that and thinking, because as I was reading through your website, I mean, the first time I was thinking, man, I could have used this a long time ago, you know. So yeah, I encourage everybody to look through. You have a wonderful website, and there's so much information on there, and it's just your name, so it's Charlotte, it's Vetter, VETTER.com. And where else can people reach you, and what is the best place for people to reach you?
They can reach me on Instagram. It's just my name at Charlotte Better. You'll find me if you search my name. And I'm often sharing things there about my own life, my personal life, my
Yeah,
relationship. Um, yeah, just kind of different little tips or tools for navigating these things.
yeah, yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll have those links below. And is there anything else that you want to share or make sure people know, whether about you or about the service or offerings that you have? Anything at all that you'd like people to know before we end this?
I really, I believe that like one of the most, or for me, the most valuable thing in my life was to really discover how to be in relationship with a man and not be clinging to him and to be and for it to be healthy and energetically serving
Yeah,
me, to feel like supported and loved. And I did not know that in order to get there, I had to really face my shadow and the
yeah,
ways that I was pleasing or being small or waiting for him to save me kind of thing. So
yeah.
these are things that we work on and we look at, and it's really in the end you'll realize, oh wow, actually I just feel so good at myself. I don't really even care about
Right. It might
him.
your focus might change throughout the
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. And also, I don't think I asked, or I don't think it was mentioned. Do you work virtually or only in person?
I work virtually most of the time, and this year I'm really wanting to do in person again. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
about creating a version of the program where we end an in-person retreat, maybe in somewhere like Costa Rica in the winter. So
Yeah.
if you have any excitement for that, please let me know so I can, yeah, plan it. But
Yeah.
that's one of the things I want to create this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds amazing. So, yeah, let her know and you can contact her on Instagram, and let her know what you think of that idea. That sounds great. All
cool.
right. Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for being my guest. I know that there was so much more that you could talk about with all you have to offer for women, but just look at her website, look on her Instagram, and you'll find all the information there. So thank you so much, Charlotte.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.